You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980. My name is Les Brown. We come your way Monday through Friday from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock to inject positivity in your life. Here's what I know about you. I can't see you and I don't even know you, but here's what I know based upon my own personal experience. You have something special. You have greatness within you, and you have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. But most of us never, ever achieve our greatness because I believe we live in a world where we're told more about our limitations rather than our potential. And today we're talking about what are some of the success clues, some things that you've learned that has given you a breakthrough, that has allowed you to do some things that you didn't even realize that you could do. I had no idea that I had the ability to do what I'm doing right now, and many other things that I've accomplished. I just surprised myself. And we're talking about Jay-Z. Jay-Z, whose birth name was Sean Corey Carter. And here this young man went from, he's built an empire, multi-million-dollar empire, from the Brooklyn housing projects to a multi-millionaire. And so as you look at his life, there's some principles that he learned, that he applied in business, and now he is using that to build and to grow and expand globally his other enterprises that he's creating. But here's what we know. What's possible for one is possible for all. I believe we live in a time where we know anything's possible. Anything. When I was a kid, we used to say, you got as much chance of doing that as a man going to the moon. We can't say that anymore. We've been there, done that. We're living in a time that we know anything's possible. And if you think your dream is too big, you think the odds are too big, every time you think that, here's how I have found this to be a most effective way to kill those negative thoughts. Just say, Barack. If you think your dream is too big and it's a long shot, just say that, okay? And that'll get you together. The number to call is 888-539-2980, 888-539-2980. Hello, Ken. Thank you so much for calling. I want to hear from you. Call me and let me know what are the success principles that's guiding your life. Ken, what is it that you're doing that's making a difference in your life?
Actually, it's one of my teammates, my classmate, actually told me trust nobody but yourself.
What do you mean by that, Ken? Trust nobody but yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because in the whole world, you can trust nobody. You got to trust yourself first.
And has that worked for you, Ken?
Yes. Actually, it's I use that mentor to actually do my business, through my business. Now, so I'm pretty all right on my business side.
Okay. And so what kind of business are you in?
Well, actually, we're doing the broadcasting on free-to-air satellite. And on the website, also on the iPhone, you can actually watch the TV, too. We do auction on TV.
Fantastic. Now, do you have a staff?
Yes, we do. Yes. I have about 10 staff with me, and also I have about 9 staff in Thailand.
Okay. So how do you monitor all of them? Because you got to trust somebody when you're in business. You got to have some partnerships. You can't make it by yourself today. So how do you do that?
For the accounting, for money side, I don't trust nobody.
Okay. Oh, and so what you're saying is that I understand that Oprah Winfrey talked about that you've got to keep your eye in it. You've got to be on top of the money.
Correct.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Listen, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate your listening. Thank you so much, and all the success to you.
The show is wonderful, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, sir.
I listen every day.
I appreciate you. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much, and spread the word, will you?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay. Let me talk to Trista. Trista, you in Englewood, you're cosmetology instructor. Is that your passion?
Yes, I love doing hair. I love everything about it. It's my passion. It's something I care doing, and I love it.
Are you successful at it?
I'm doing really well. This is actually my first year professionally. I got my license last July, and I've been doing it, unprofessionally, at home, doing friends and stuff, and myself, my family members at home. So I was like, this is what I love to do. I'm going to go get my license, and I'm going to do it full time, and eventually get my own salon. And
so now, have you built a good clientele?
I built a small clientele. I work in a nice salon in Manhattan Beach, and it's something I love doing. I had so many opportunities opened up to me as a young individual. I've met so many wonderful, great people that always encourage you, and something that you love doing, do it. Even if it's not what you like doing. I mean, if hair is not what you like doing, don't do it. Don't waste your time and doing something you don't want to do.
Go do something that resonates with you. And that's one of the things that Jay-Z did. But let me ask you this. If you had to, you think about your life, you said, don't do anything that's not you. Do what you love to do. And then you'll be successful at that to a very large degree. But there are a lot of people who have experienced failure in that. Tell me, what are the most difficult thing that you found in terms of building clientele, and how did you overcome that?
The hardest thing was, sometimes we'll have a dry spell where you're just not making any money. No one's coming to get their hair done. Your regulars or whatever moment, they're hard on money and they're not coming.
Yes.
Stick with it. Because in the end, if you keep trying at it, you keep chipping at that wood, eventually that wood is going to be chopped up in little pieces and you've overcome chopping this big tree.
Fantastic. So you're saying keep at it, don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop. One of my instructors from cosmetology program, she told me, do what you love, and the money will follow.
Fantastic.
And I try not to think of money as the bigger issue. Like, yeah, I want to make more money, of course, but in the long run, this is my passion. I want to be great at it. I want to overcome challenges. I want to, enhance my skills. I want to be a better person to my customers and to myself, and eventually to my family.
Fantastic.
And I realized that if I keep at it, eventually the money will follow. That won't be a problem. That's for any industry that you want to work in.
Absolutely. But listen, I appreciate you calling in and sharing that. I can feel your drive and passion. You're hungry. And that's what it takes today. Hey, listen, I want you to call. What is it that you look at your life and just listening to what Trista said? She said, I love this. Cosmetology is who I am. I was doing hair at home in the kitchen. I remember those days. Mama used to do my sister's hair in the kitchen and using a straightening comb and using external heat to heat it at that particular time. But most of you don't know. You know what I'm talking about right now. At any rate. At any rate, Mama loved to do hair. She loved that and baking sweet potato pie. My mother could bake a sweet potato pie so good you couldn't eat it with your shoes on. You had to take your shoes off so you could wiggle your toes. Yes, she did. Oh, my goodness. Let me talk to Darlene. Darlene, I want to thank you so much for calling. I want you to call in. What's your success principle? What drives your life? Have you found something that you are passionate about it, as Jay-Z is about basketball and music, or Trista is about cosmetology? I want to know, what is it that governs your life? Are you like Ken? He said, trust nobody. When it comes to the money, count the money yourself. Trust nobody. I understand that. I want to talk to Darlene. Darlene, thank you so much. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. Darlene, dynamic Darlene, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Mr. Brown. How are you?
I'm fired up. God treats me so good. He treats me like I'm his only child. But listening to the people that's calling me, I know he's got some other children out there.
Yes, he does.
Come on now.
You know what, Mr. Brown? What I am really passionate about, I know that from pain comes passion.
Yes.
And I'm an educator, and I've worked with children for over 16 years.
Yes.
And what I need children to know, and if they're listening out there, just know that you're going to be perceived in many different ways. But you have a story to tell. And when you open your mouth and when you share with others what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. So it doesn't matter how you're perceived, because perceptions are deceitful.
Mm-hmm.
They're deceitful. And so many of our young people, Mr. Brown, they're just paralyzed. Being an educator, they're paralyzed with what others think about them.
Yes.
And they're talented. I work with young people who are very talented and gifted, but they're afraid. They're afraid.
Well, listen, I want you to know that it was great seeing you and meeting you this weekend in our training.
I had a good time.
Listen, I can feel the passion in your voice. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your advice for young people today. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. We're talking about Jay-Z, and I'm glad he changed his name. Sean Corey Carter. He wouldn't have sold any music with that. That's not a cool name. Jay-Z has more pizzazz to it. But this is a guy who started out in Brooklyn projects, and now he is an icon. And he's one of the things he says, one of his principles about his life is managing your private life. He does not though he's married to an icon, Beyonce, the media, they have not been able to pry into their private lives. Other thing is, he says, in order to be successful, know when to move on. That you've got to have a mindset of when to move your life to the next level. That's one of the things I've done. I've been speaking for years. I've mastered that. And now my goal is training and developing speakers and helping people to find their voice and how to impact audiences and build a financial empire. It's about challenging and stretching yourself. When my friends who in my age category say they're retired, I tell them I'm refired. I'm fired up about life. And I want to know, what is it that you're fired up about? What is it that you love? What is it that you have learned about life? And what is it that if you had a chance to speak to the world and say to them, here's something that I have learned that has worked for me, and I know that it will most certainly work for you if you apply it. And here's what I want to give you right now. If you want to be successful in life, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry. People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. People that are hungry believe if you get knocked down in life, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. I want some hungry people to call me right now for success. 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. My name is Les Brown. This is Mamie Brown's Baby Boy, and you're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.